Welcome everyone to the MakerSpace webinar today. My name is Sally. First of all, I would just like to pay my respects to elders past and present. So the University of Newcastle acknowledges traditional custodians of the land within our footprint areas, the Awabakal, Darkinjung, Biripi, Warramai, Wananara and Eora nations. We pay our respects to the wisdom of our elders past and present. So thank you so much for coming along today. We're starting out the front of the Ourimbah Library so that you guys have a bit of context about where we are today for MakerSpace. So join me as we head inside to MakerSpace. So heading in the front doors. Here with this area of Ourimbah Library, we've got the front desk over here. And if we keep heading through, we're going to find ourselves in MakerSpace. And today we're going to be talking to Linda Cox and Samantha, who are MakerSpace aficionados. So here we can see MakerSpace with our little pink flamingo out the front there. So let's head in. I'm very excited to be here with them today. Hello, Linda.
Sally, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Good, thank you.
Welcome, welcome. And we've got Sam down there, she's hiding a little bit. Welcome everybody to MakerSpace. So Linda, what is MakerSpace?
Hi everyone, nice to see you all. This is the MakerSpace. We're at Ourimbah campus library. A MakerSpace is a staff-funded facility that is run by the library. So it's available for all students, all academic staff, PACE students, any student of the university to use for free. It's a space where students can come and be creative, or it's a space where they can come and take time out from their studies, or it's a place where they can come and look what's in their coursework that they might be able to think outside of the box a bit, or to try and implement some of the technologies and crafts and hands-on things that are available to implement what they're doing in their studies, and to just explore other ways of seeing what they can produce to show other people what they're trying to say.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
So if we took a simple object,
yes,
what could we do? What are all the things? There's so many bits of machines in here.
I thought about this. So what came to my mind is and something that really fascinates people. So last year I was just sitting here and I looked over and I realized that someone had left an old pear.
Gross.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I thought, but actually it's really quite interesting. So I wanted to have a little play. So I scanned said pear with our iron scan. It's a 3D scanner. And the scanning comes out like this. So what I'm able to do is scan, and I turn it over and scan it all different ways, and able to get an absolute copy of the object. So then I put that object through our Prusa Slicer program.
And what's Prusa Slicer?
Prusa Slicer readies the object for 3D printing. It's a mathematical, it turns it into a mathematical equation so that the 3D printer can extrude the filament.
Ah. So that's what it looks like in the program there.
Yes. So we place it on the plate, it's all ready to go. We export the G code and we move it over to our 3D printer. And here is our 3D printer printing the exact same pear at the moment. So that's taken about 4 hours, and we've got 46 minutes left to go on it. So that's how it comes out. So I took that. Then once that was printed, I just hand painted it with acrylic paint. And so that's what I'm going to start with today. So that's our first thing, the 3D printer, and some of the programs that we use for that. Beside our scanner, we also have modeling programs, and there's a lot of free 3D download prints that you can get online that people come in and print as well. So that pear I then photographed, and I've done here a little keychain process of what I'm going to show you.
Flipped over, sorry.
So that pear was photographed and put through Illustrator, and I created a vector image. And a vector image is like a smooth image that I'm able to use through a lot of programs that we use over here. So what I did first was one of our most popular little equipment pieces is the badge maker. So I popped the photo of the pair through Canva, which is a program that it's a free program. It's a program that we use quite often, and I was able to design the badge. And then I bring that badge over into Cricut. So Cricut, this is a program that's based for Cricut. This is our Cricut machine here. And it's a computer cutting machine. So it works with its program and it cuts things to shape. This one was a print and cut. So once I was able to print and cut the badges, they come out like this, and then we're able to make a badge, and there is a badge. So that's really simple. Anyone can do that. Then once I have that image already cut out, I can do, and it's in an STL type format, I can make that bigger or smaller. I can do anything with that image. So just having a play through Cricut, I made some cards with that, cutting different cards, cutting into the main card, different color. That's cardboard. We have iron on vinyl. So I just cut a cord on it. I thought that was interesting and ironed it on. This is a gift bag. So these are one of the little workshops that we run, making these gift bags. It's one of our Learn to Sew programs that we do. So we might move over there, and I'm going to show you what happens with our sewing. So what we have is we have 2 sewing machines. We are getting a new overlocker, and this is another overlocker that we have. And we have an embroidery machine. So we run workshops on Learn to Sew. We have tote bag workshops, and we get a lot of students come in who want mending done, who want to learn how to put a zip in. We have pencil case that they can make that puts a zipper in, buttons, that everyone really wants to learn to sew and to mend their clothes and to change their clothes. So that's really popular. So
Linda, if I had only sewed maybe once or twice at school, but I decided suddenly that I wanted to become an expert seamstress, could I come here and maybe talk to someone about, you know, how I go about that and maybe do a few workshops?
We get a lot of students just like you who come in and say that. So this is a really simple thing that we can make, and you can actually book into a workshop with Sam or any of the SPSAs here and learn how to do it. But we also created just little booklets on let's make a gift bag, and it's a really easy process. So if students just want to come in, have some time out on their own, they're welcome to come in, book a machine and work on their own. We have lots of bits of material in here, and then once they've made the bag, they can do what they want with it. They can embroider, they can do, you know, an iron on, or they can even paint on it. So
what about our lab coats? There's lots of people that have to use lab coats for their study. Are they able to personalize that at all?
Yes.
Has anyone done that before?
We do. We have the sewing machine's able to sew lettering, and also the embroidery machine. So here's that's from the sewing machine. So we can put names on.
So cool.
Yeah. So they're welcome to come in and work on their lab coats.
Oh yeah, and Sam's got another one over here that's got a whole bunch of different things.
That's what we experiment different techniques and things on. We're always experimenting in here, working out different ways to do things, always working on something. So that's our sewing corner.
So what's on the machine currently? It looks pear themed. Is it pear themed? It's green.
So I've started a bag for our pear theme, and I was just going to finish off the last seam, and then I'll stuff it and tie it up, and hopefully we'll get a pear-shaped bag out of it.
Do you think that'll be done by the end of this webinar, Sam?
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
Sam is amazing. She can do anything.
Take it away, Sam. All right, we'll leave her to that. We'll follow Linda over here. What else can we do with this pear? There's already so many things.
I know. Back to the pear. We took the image as a PNG, I think. I don't know if it matters if it's a JPEG, but we put that through our embroidery program, which is called Hatch. So once the image is input into Hatch, it picks, you help it pick all the colours and where you want the highlights and the lowlights, and put that through into our embroidery program. And here we have some, this one's just going at the moment, actually. I'll turn that. The green button. So it starts and stops each time you need to change the thread, and changing the thread is really easy on these machines. So we've used this for illustrations, or you can download free embroidery projects as well. That's really fun. We just, have been playing with this.
That looks amazing.
Yeah. So that's really good. That can be part of a workshop as well that we do. So again, back to this pair. Back to the 3D printers. So once I had that flat image of a pear, I was able to put it back through into Tinkercad, which is a free program that models. So you download it into that program, and I put some hooks on it to make earrings, and I added a little leaf, which are all really quite easy to do, and 3D printed things like an earring and a key holder.
That's
and they
so
take,
cool.
that was an hour and 2 minutes, I think, to print those. These ones weren't printed on that plate. We can change colour halfway through. So those wouldn't be painted, but if you want something to paint, you probably paint them in white. The 3D printers are used quite a lot through different programs throughout the university. So with oral health, we have students come in for a workshop when they first start their degree and learn to print these teeth, which they use through their coursework. And they have a 20-minute workshop that they come in. They always really enjoy it. It goes through how to 3D scan, the whole process. They learn how to then send it to the 3D printers, which students can do outside when they're at home. If they want to design something on 3D print it, then they can email it through to us and we'll 3D print it out. So they learn the whole process, so they're able to then come, anytime and use the 3D printers.
So have they made that mandatory for that course to come in and make a set of teeth?
It's not mandatory, but every student comes in, they love
That's
having their set of
fantastic.
teeth, so they're able to learn what all the teeth are. And it's
Wow.
very good. We
Has
work
anyone
with oral health
painted
on
them?
that. No, but we get people who print them in pink and green and different fun colours like that. I think they end up actually naming them and writing on them.
Ah, that's so clever.
And then this for marine biology, this is a mudwell, and it's usually only really small. So again, I scanned that and blew it up and 3D printed it in white filament and painted it. And we were able to film that to school students last year for Science Week through marine biology.
So you're telling me you didn't pick that up off the beach? That's
because it's huge.
That's completely all man-made, 3D printed,
so you're
painted.
able to touch it and feel it and really look at it and understand it. So it's a great way for students to to learn about things.
That's fantastic.
So there's some coral, and this just shows you how it's built up on the 3D printer. This holds it together and you peel it off. Again, with the Banksia cone as well. That was 3D scanned and that's
amazing.
Hasn't been cleaned up yet. So once I had finished with all the fun of 3D printing and cricket and embroidering and sewing, I had to show you, we turned to Lego and we designed a Lego pair.
Do we have any Lego fans on the webinar today? Drop a thing in chat if you are. So there you go. You can even make a pair, so even a round object out of Lego. That's something I didn't know about.
I have to thank Jake for that. Jake's our other SPSA. He did that for me yesterday. So then further playing with the pair, again, once we have the image, I just wanted to have a little play. So this is like a journal book that I use sometimes, and I just used it as an inspiration to paint. Journaling and like drawing is something that I do quite a lot, and it's very relaxing. It teaches you to observe. I'm a natural history illustrator, so nature and drawing are things that I find a lot of peace in, but also very much a learning experience. So I do want to run workshops over the holidays. We'll talk about that later and teach people how to do that. So I had a little play over here, and I have this lino cut. So I traced the hair onto the lino cut, cut out the background, and now that's used as a stamp, and made that, and then just had a little play with different paints. I think that'd make a fun workshop sometime. I also got this jelly plate, which does some fantastic things, but I had a little play with that. Only a very short play, but just learning different ways that you can use this gel plate to do monoprinting, and that can be used like cards or gift paper.
So if you're a little bit scared to kind of start with all of the machines, and all your computers are using a lot of different file types and things like that,
yeah.
if you don't kind of know where to start, would you suggest just pen and paper or a stamp or something a little bit more tactile, just to get your brain started with?
Exactly, and to become familiar with the space, because this is there's a lot in this space, but it's also a really, what we hope is a nice and calming atmosphere. It's a space where you don't have the pressures of your degree, you don't have the pressures of people around you. It's a place to come and just do what you want to do. So we can guide you in things that you would like to do, or you can come in and just sit on your own and play with something. We've got lots of different materials here. We have games, we have jigsaws, we have chess, we have electronics. So we run electronic workshops as well. So Arduino is a little program that we're running at the moment, Learn to Use Arduinos. And it's a basic coding program. This and Spheros and the Raspberry Pi are fabulous for like educators that are going out to be teaching in primary schools with STEM education. They're calling out for students who can learn how to code and to teach that to students. And there's some fabulous websites and things that you can follow on STEM learning and learning to code. And we have lots of this sort of equipment available down here for students to come and use.
So would you need to do any like reading or preparation to come in and start with these? Because they look pretty techy.
Everything in the MakerSpace is really user-friendly. They're easy programs. It's made for ease of use and to be creative. And you can take that, what I'm trying to show with a pair, you can take an idea and go anywhere with it. And it's creative. It's amazing what being creative can add to the way you think about things. So it's even this is creative. We've done the workshop ourselves, and setting up a little light and a fan, it's fantastic. It just works the other side of your brain on how things work. And when you understand how this sort of technology works, you can it helps you understand a lot of other things. It helps you talk to a lot of other people about how things work, and the basis for lighting and for computers and for coding. And it's great to have a background in all of that. And I guess that's what this space is. It's because it's a library space, it's offering to students the facilities and technology and equipment that they might not normally see that is going to be out there in the workforce. So it's available for them like a library. It's free of charge to encourage them to use, to be creative, but the best thing is that it's just available for everybody. So
yeah, because we do have a few makerspaces around the university, but for specific cohorts. So so this one being in the library is non-denominational in a sense. It's open to everyone.
Yeah, it's everything from playing chess to colouring in. We have great colouring in things. When we get our new furniture, which is going to be set up out there, we'll be able to spread out there a bit, so you can sit at tables and just relax and do some colouring in, or play a game with your friends. Everything right through to the basic tech. If you're entrepreneurial, you can come in and use the equipment and try before you go out and spend your money on it. Again, using it for your courses or coursework, and getting what we're working on is looking at ways to engage the academic staff with a makerspace, which is they're busy running their courses. And you don't want to pressure people into having to learn new things. So if they think that this might be not their area of expertise, or they don't understand how they can involve this in their coursework, then I would invite them to come down and chat with us, because it's a great space to encourage their students to, you know, explore. And I think for students, I think they should come down and explore it as well. Things like, even if they want to run their own workshops from here, all of this, it's great on their resume to see that they're thinking differently and expanding their horizons and thinking creatively, because that's what we need.
That's fantastic. And say if I came in and, you know, you were preparing something like you are today, and I sort of came in and said, oh, I don't really know what I want to do, but I want to do something.
Yeah.
Is there something, you know, would you be able to go, oh, well, here, we've got this going at the moment. Do you want to have a crack at this?
Yeah.
Is that something you've done before with students?
That's what we work on a lot. We're always running through ideas and different things that we can work on to engage students. What I'm going to do is put the pair project, as we'll call it. We'll put that up in here, and I'll put all of the bits and pieces that we've made, and people will be able to read through that and understand how each piece was made. But I put lots of frames up and different themes in each frame. So this is our 3D printing frames, and I keep printing earrings for everything from Mother's Day, Star Wars Day, May the 4th last week, Easter. It's just, and we do workshops or just pop-ups which help encourage or engage students and people to the makerspace. These are badges that we always make for any pop-up that we're doing, and people come in and make their own badges. This beautiful artwork is from a student who comes in quite often, Anthony, and they clearly took up the pair idea. And ran
More
with
pairs,
it.
more pairs.
That's beautiful, isn't it? They did this as well.
That's fantastic.
We do knitting and sewing here, and can't say that we're experts, but we certainly like to have some fun with it, and we're all really enjoying it. This is a lino print card we did for Mother's Day. These are examples of what the Cricut can do. So this is iron-on. There's cutout 3D things. There's cards. There's gift bags. There's iron-on like for T-shirts. So lots of things. It's quite a great program, actually. We're always using, that gets used, all of this gets used every day. This is embroidery. So that was an illustration that we were able to take through and actually embroider.
Is that a Willy Wagtail?
Yeah, it is.
That's fantastic.
And a lot of these people, this is designed by a student.
Oh, wow.
For their partner. There's things that are designed individually, you know, that's for someone starting up their own little business. This is one of the bags that we make. So it has a design for it that's easy to make here at the Makerspace. And this is also just ideas on the gift bags, and that's a pencil case and
Sewing
different materials.
projects.
Yeah, so you can bring in your own material, obviously, or we have bits and pieces here.
And where would you go to get some of these supplies if you were after specific material?
Yeah,
Where would you suggest?
Locally here, we would go to Spotlight and Riot for craft materials. But
Good to know.
You've got stuff at home, reuse it, go to secondhand places. Art classes, we have a typewriter.
The typewriter's been quite popular, hasn't it?
We're always using the typewriter. People love it. It was so funny. Yeah, it's.
We have all of this
get
tech.
caught and like, oh no, what have I done? No, it's really quite simple. So yeah, everyone loves typewriter.
No, that's
People don't make
fantastic.
mistakes. It's very good. I used to make a lot of mistakes. And look,
Oh my God, Sam, have you finished that already?
that's the pear bag.
That is adorable. So
Beautiful.
is there anything else that we could do with the pear? I feel like there's one thing. Have we forgotten one thing?
Yes.
There's one last thing, I believe, that's on the list of pear items. Can anyone guess what it is first? What have we forgotten? We've covered lots of bases, guys. Send in something on chat if you think you know what we might have missed.
And meanwhile, I will chat about workshops we're going to run over the break. So keep an eye on our webpage, because we're looking into different sort of courses, a couple of our courses like 3D print, all about 3D print, the programs you can use, modeling. We're looking at sewing, tote bags, something that will give you a lot of skills. You can sew buttons onto them, sew a zip into it. I'll do my illustration classes where we'll head out into the campus area and do some sketching, and electronics workshops. So we've got a bit of everything. If you've got any more ideas on workshops you'd like, contact us, and we'd like to bring them out to some of the other campuses as well. That's possible.
That would be fantastic. Now, someone's just put in a great comment, Nicole, fantastic comment there. Crocheted pear. Did we think of that one yet?
Yes, we did.
We did? Oh, my
And
goodness.
if Jake is listening to that, I know he was looking into that yesterday for me. He is such a keen crocheter.
We may have had a little crochet circle lunchtime
may
last
have
week. So
done
if you're
that.
at Ourimbah and you've got something to do at lunch, you should come down for a little crochet circle.
Yeah, it was really fun. I think that was Jake's. He's done really well though. He was doing the circles. He's pretty good. But we all, we've just learned it through YouTube and different things.
And is that food I see as well?
Well, the last thing I wanted to show you, Sally, was I 3D printed a cookie cutter in a pear shape and made us pears for our morning tea. And I thought we could do some crochet and knitting while we just sat and chatted.
That is a fantastic idea.
Yeah.
If only we had an oven in here, we'd be able to make them in here as well.
Soon. That's coming very soon.
Coming soon. Fantastic. Well, Linda, this is fantastic. This space is absolutely amazing. We've still got plenty of time left on the clock. So if anyone has any questions, or if you'd like us to go over a specific machine, has anyone not been into MakerSpace yet? I've seen a couple of our staff members on here. Have you guys all visited MakerSpace? Because if not, get onto it, guys. It's such a great space to be in. So there are some upcoming workshops happening, and Ben, I believe you did drop that link already. So you can register online.
Yep.
And do you need to do a OH&S thing before you come in?
Yes, we do have an induction. You can do it on the day of the workshop. It only takes a couple of minutes to do, and it basically talks about some of the equipment, how to use it, what to avoid. You probably should come into the Makerspace with covered shoes and your hair tied back. We don't have food in here or uncovered drinks. Children aren't allowed in here. Well, they can be brought in here to show them, but they can't actually participate. And then we just point out where the fire exits are and the first aid, and just explain that this place is available for them and they can be as creative as they want. We can help them out with any ideas they have. We don't actually do the work for people, but that's part of, the fun of this space is to explore.
That's fantastic. So if we have any academics online at the moment, do you want to let us know what classes you're teaching or what subjects you're in? And we'll get Linda and Sam starting to think about what kind of projects that those subjects could be doing. And if you get in contact with Linda, we'll be able to have you down here and kind of get a little bit of idea generation happening, and it'll be fantastic. So I haven't got any questions on chat just yet.
We're going to take, we've been talking to Callahan about some of the courses up there run podcasts as part of their coursework. And we're hoping to maybe set up some sort of pop-up that we can bring that equipment up to them and have them use that equipment, because it's really good podcast with microphones, and it's all set up ready to go. We have green screen. We have
If you can think of it, you've probably got it.
I think so.
Yeah.
And we are putting together a wish list too. So if there's things that people think that they'd like to see here or would be good in their course, then definitely let us know.
That's fantastic. So while we're waiting for questions, Sam, I have a question for you.
Yes.
As a MakerSpace SPSA, I have a question. What is by far your favorite project that you've seen come into the MakerSpace? Do you have a favorite?
I got so excited. The first project that came into the 3D printer was a student who gets to work with us every so often, Sean. And what he did was he literally just made a dock for a robot that he was doing for his class, for his assessment. But it was like, we were so excited. We couldn't even contain ourselves. We watched it get built. He had to do a couple of different ones. We watched it print. But because it was the first one on the printers, it was such a simple thing, but loved it.
That's
So that was
fantastic.
probably our most exciting. Yeah.
I love that in this space, people will bring in their projects like that and they get to have an audience with you guys being the supportive onlookers,
No.
being there to, you know, assist with, you know, if a machine has an issue or if they're not quite sure how to proceed, or, you know, that whole problem solving thing you guys are so amazing at. It's such a supportive space down here. Oh, that's fantastic. What a cool project.
Yeah, we also had at the beginning of the year a engineering student come through with a cog from a train. Did I say train wheel? That had failed. So the cog had failed, but they were able to scan that and reproduce it to see where it had failed. And that was an awesome project to watch because it was literally that big, but that scanner can manage to scan
Wow.
really big things. So,
Okay, so even if it doesn't fit on that plate,
yeah,
you
you
can
actually
still-
can add a stand to it, and you can scan something at about 2 meters.
Wow.
So we haven't done that yet.
So you could scan me.
somebody, but then we can't print us out. So
Yeah. You could print small scale though, couldn't you? Yeah.
Tomorrow.
There you go. There you go. Another project. So if anyone wants to see that project come to life,
Yeah, literally. So and also this
And what's
is one
this?
of Sam's little babies at the moment.
so what are you doing here, Sam?
I'm just making an outfit that's different on every quarter of the body or eighth of the body because you've got front and back. I plan on putting a skirt on this side. This is a technique for pattern making that I learned way back when I went to fashion school. It's called draping, and it's something I really enjoy doing because you can see what's happening instead of just having to imagine it and draw it on paper and then put it onto the Judy, which is what I call her. So I've sort of got, I guess, about half of it done. We'll have to do the back of her and figure out how I get the dress to
So
attach.
once that's designed, we'll change that for lots of different color material. We might even like print some of the material ourselves.
Tie-dye, whatever we want.
We're going to use again all the equipment throughout and make it's going to be a piece of art by the time it finishes.
So with that, you say you're going to use different fabrics. So what fabric have you got currently on there? It's quite plain and you've got markings all over it. So what's that fabric about?
So this is I call it muslin. I think you say calico.
Yes.
Just a plain calico.
And so why do you do that?
Just because it's easy and it's cheap.
So if you make mistakes on this one, it's okay.
Yes. So this is basically when I finish this and I cut all the pieces the way I want them cut, when I open it up and I lie it down, it's going to look like a pattern piece that you get in the packages or whatever.
Yeah.
And because it's just plain, I can draw on it. This is center front. That tells you the front line through the body. You have a center back. You've got your waistlines. I probably should have more lines on there. Don't tell my original teachers. But you mark out where your darts are, where your pockets are going to be. And then when you finish, you create your pattern once you take it off and lie it down.
That's fantastic.
So,
Alrighty. Well, thank you so much, ladies, for this fantastic chat. And when in doubt, think of the pear and all of the amazing things you can do with a pear. And if you can do that with just a pear that's been left and it's a little bit old and mushy, think of all the things you can do with a non-mushy pear.
Yeah.
So if there's no questions anymore, guys, any comments, any questions, anything? Thank you so much for all coming to visit MakerSpace today. And if you haven't been down here, should definitely come and drop in and have a chat with Linda and Sam if Sam's here, or any of the other SPSAs. They're always welcome, anybody down here to have a chat. And, you know, if not make something the first time, plan and make something the second time. So thank you so much for having us today, guys. And I can't wait to see what else we can do with the pear. Pear forever.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.